Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. Beginning in central Nebraska, where it's been a year since a Lincoln man was killed at Fonner Park in Grand Island. Now, a South Dakota man's been convicted of his murder. 21-year-old Logan Huntshorse pled guilty Wednesday to second-degree murder and no contest to a felony weapon count. 4 related charges were dropped in the plea bargain. It all stems from an incident last March where 62-year-old Todd Shear was killed in a horse barn at Fonner Park. Police have said Huntshorse admitted to shooting Shear in the stomach with a handgun. Court records indicate that Shear's wallet was then taken and the money inside split between Huntshorse and 3 other suspects. 2 other cases are still pending. It's unclear if the Senate will take up the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act that passed the House Thursday evening. Critics argue it could be misused, for example, to stifle free speech on college campuses and elsewhere, but supporters point to the rise in anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. They say universities need to do more to stop them in the current protests on campuses. Amy Kiley has more.
Pro-Palestine demonstrators at universities are getting a response from Washington, but it might not be what they had in mind.
This is a really important time right now for the Jewish community, with students being scared on campus.
The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act heads to the Senate after passing the House with strong bipartisan support yesterday evening. It's controversial, but not because it opposes anti-Semitism. President Joe Biden is set to speak about that at the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum next week. And the highest-ranking Jewish politician in U.S. history leads the Senate.
There's no place for violence or anti-Semitism on the campuses.
The ACLU argues the legislation could stifle free speech on college campuses. The bill uses the definition of anti-Semitism from the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. That calls it, quote, a certain perception of Jews which may be expressed as hatred toward Jews. The bill would make the Education Department use that definition to enforce anti-discrimination laws.
Speech that is critical of Israel alone does not constitute unlawful discrimination. The bill sweeps too broadly.
It's not a Jewish versus Muslim issue. It's not the Jews aren't doing anything wrong. It's the leaders in Israel are doing things wrong. They're bombing Gaza.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
1/3 of Americans may have had their personal data swept up in that February ransomware attack on a United Health Group subsidiary that disrupted pharmacies across the U.S. That revelation came from the CEO of United Health in hours of testimony before the Senate and House Wednesday. Andrew Whitty apologized to patients and doctors. He admitted that hackers broke into the subsidiary through a poorly protected computer server. Whitty also confirmed he authorized a $22 million ransom payment made to the hackers.
It will take several months before enough information will be available to identify and notify impacted customers and individuals, partly because the files containing that data were compromised in the attack.
Lawmakers questioned Whitty as to why such a profitable company didn't have stronger cybersecurity in place. Experts consider this the most significant cyber attack on healthcare in American history. Closer to home, that special session speculation is over. Governor Jim Pillen saying he's calling state senators back to Lincoln to, in his words, finish the job and cut property taxes. According to a statement from the governor's office, the special session anticipated to begin in late July. Joe Jordan has more.
Even before Nebraska lawmakers called it quits last month, there was plenty of talk of a special session before the end of this year. Months ago, Governor Jim Pillen said he'd keep lawmakers around until Christmas if needed in order to get his bold plan to cut property taxes by 40% signed and sealed. But the plan stalled and went nowhere. Now it appears the governor has had enough. In a statement issued late Wednesday announcing a series of statewide town halls on property taxes, Pillen says the legislature failed to pass any property tax relief in the regular session, but we will finish the job in a special session. But Pillen's plan is far from a done deal, as serious questions remain, including, not the least of which, how to pay for it. Groups on both the left and the right helped shoot down Pillen's initial pay-for, which was a 1-cent increase in the state sales tax. Among those opponents, former Governor, now Senator Pete Ricketts.
I'm against this plan to raise taxes. As governor, I was always against the plan to raise taxes, and I'm against the plan to raise taxes right now. And historically, we've done this in the past. We've raised taxes, income taxes, sales taxes, and tried to give it to schools to get property tax relief, and it's never worked.
No specific date has been set for the special session, but Pillen says it will be later this summer, most likely late July. In Omaha, Joe Jordan, News Channel, Nebraska.
Community members in a central Nebraska neighborhood are celebrating the opening of a new inclusive playground. Ana Ruth Lugo Mejia gives us a look.
The children of a central Nebraska city are enjoying the newest addition to a local park, a playground. The ribbon-cutting ceremony for the Perny Inclusive Playground in Grand Island happened on Wednesday. Grand Island Campus President Dr. Marcy Chemnitz says the playground helps make Grand Island an enjoyable place to live, and it prepares students for the workforce.
This project is an example of how we, Central Community College, meet our mission of maximizing student and community success. Yes, we are about supporting students. It's our core, but the community is also our strength. It's in our middle name.
What started at an occupational therapy assistance program at Central Community College became reality. Students were given the task to design a community project for people who are unable to participate fully in daily activities. Now the 27,000 square foot playground at Ryder Park is open after years of planning the $2.8 million multi-generational project. Campaign co-chair Katie Soto says countless families will benefit from the inclusive playground.
Building an inclusive playground is more than just creating a space for children to play. It's about fostering a sense of belonging, acceptance, and unity. It's about ensuring that every child, regardless of their abilities, can experience the simple yet profound joys of childhood.
The playground includes experiences for 3 stages of development, with spaces designed specifically for children's ages 2 to 5, 5 to 11, and 12 and up. It also features sensory equipment, obstacle courses, and inclusive entry equipment. Aurora resident Lori Malarkey said she ran some errands this morning and promised her son they would stop by the playground on the way back home.
It's amazing. It's one, super beautiful and colorful, which is exciting for the kids, but they are loving the slides and the merry-go-round, and just that really they can access anything.
In Grand Island, Ana Ruth Lugo Mejia, News Channel, Nebraska.
The nation's fastest growing sport gaining ground in both cities and small towns. According to research from the Sports and Fitness Industry Association, 13.6 million Americans tried their hand at pickleball last year. Casey Wannenberg takes us to a small Nebraska town that's seen a big increase in the sport.
Back. Pickleball, the fastest growing sport in America.
Look, I've been trying to find a way to extend my professional sports career.
Celebrities like Tom Brady are embracing the game.
70s, as long as I can, right?
Super serious. And now, so are those in small towns like Gordon, Nebraska.
Can't believe how fast this has taken off.
Nick Burns helped organize Gordon's first pickleball club after playing the sport with his parents,
who were, in their 60s and 70s. And I was like, I'm going to take it easy on these old folks. And I ended up coming out of there sweating. And
his mom then encouraged him to start a club in his town, even donating some of the equipment,
including nets, balls, all that kind of fun stuff.
401.
Since the club served off in January, members have grown from less than a handful to a full gym of all ages.
We've had a ton of people that are excited about it. I think every week somebody new probably shows up.
So is playing pickleball a little bit of a pickle? I decided to find out myself.
So once you get used to the ball.
First, I practiced connecting the ball with my paddle. And then,
right here, it's like T-ball.
I hit the cord. When you serve, you can either hit the ball underhand or use a drop serve. Pickleball also has a 2-bounce rule, meaning the ball must bounce on the serve and the first return. But after that, you can either volley, hit the ball with no bounce, or let it bounce once.
It's really easy to learn. Sports like tennis and golf take a lot more time and energy to learn. They have a lot more injury risk. So this is something that anybody can pretty much come and pick up and play year-round.
Got it.
A year-round sport that Burns says helps him mentally and physically.
Why do I pickleball? It gives me something to get active at least once a week.
And also brings fond memories of his mom, who passed away.
Yeah, so this is kind of an ode to her, and we're pretty lucky to have all this equipment, and she would be really proud. So,
In Gordon, Casey Wannenberg, News Channel, Nebraska.
Great job.
A local community action group kicked off Community Action Month yesterday. Kyle Mathis has more.
Blue Valley Community Action kicked off National Community Action Month by hosting a community lunch Wednesday. BVCA offered a free meal and educational booths about programs people can be a part of or programs that can help support those in need.
Here at our home office in Fairbury, we wanted to have an event. The Jefferson County Courthouse was kind enough to give us permission to host a lunch on the lawn. We've got burgers, we've got hot dogs. We have booths set up with information about our programs.
The staff representation at the event came from Gage, Jefferson, and Saline counties. PVCA also supports Fillmore, Thayer, York, Polk, Butler, and Seward counties as well. Communication and Development Officer Ben Schwartz says Community Action Month is a good opportunity for them to reflect on what the group has done throughout the year.
We had just a fantastic April in terms of that kind of information. Our consumer surveys came back overwhelmingly positive, over 700 responses, the most we've had in many years, 98% good or excellent. So we know that our staff is doing great work out there.
Those who couldn't make it to the lunch can receive information about BVCA programs at bvca.net. In Fairbury, Kyle Mathis, News Channel, Nebraska.
And Loyalty Dates. Every May 1st holds a special place for Norfolk veterans and community members. Luke Stera has more from their newest celebration.
It's a day that affirms loyalty to the United States and recognizes freedom. Senior Vice President of VFW Post 1644, Leanne Whittam, believes this day is just important as the others.
We always do Veterans Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, but we didn't want Loyalty Day to die because this is important.
The day was officially recognized in 1958 by then-President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Normally, the day consists of parades, color guards, and marching bands. And that was the case in Norfolk in past years, but due to the time of event and confusion behind the day, a change was needed.
We wanted to do something different to show patriotism in Norfolk and our kids in town. And not only with Norfolk Public Schools, but the whole community.
Despite some rain beforehand, a flag ceremony, the playing of taps, and the Pledge of Allegiance were all a part of the event. Honor Guard from the VFW, Norfolk Police, and Norfolk Fire helped with the ceremony. As the wife of a Vietnam veteran, Whittam says the amount of people who attended the event shows support for the U.S.
We need to continue to do all these kind of things, not just on those holidays, but all the time.
Reporting for News Channel Nebraska, this is Luke Stera.
And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com, click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.